Vox Populi at night. Isn't it beautiful? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MntDewMania's Redneck Rants. And if you tuned in last time, you realized that we talked about love. And L stood for love, and now we are on M. And first comes love, then comes the chapel. That's right, everybody. M is for marriage. And even in Minecraft, you can get married. Because here on Vox Populi, I can marry people. And this is the chapel. You will actually remember if you go back and look at some of the earlier drunk Minecrafts of Markiplier, this is where him and Bob got married. So this is absolutely gorgeous. This is a gorgeous build. And yeah, you can actually get married here. And if you do get married, you actually get some bonuses. I'm not really sure what you can do. But yeah, so, oh, who's this? Oh, this is the Padre. Hello. How are you, sir? Ruby Marriage Gem. Emerald. Diamond. Ooh. Wow. No, thank you. No, thanks. Oh, what's this? Oh, secret room. Check it out. Very nice. Lovely view. Lovely view. So anyway, let me talk a little bit about marriage. First of all, what is marriage? I looked it up. And the dictionary, God, there was like 10 or 12, But the one that kind of just says it plainly is it's the legal or religious ceremony that formalizes the decision of two people to live as a married couple. And everybody knows that, I mean, here lately, a lot of the states are going over to, they recognize gay marriages, which is awesome. You want to live together and be married? Knock yourself out. So that's my thoughts on that. So, what is the problem, though? Can I go down, please? Thank you. I don't want to go. No, that looks scary down there. What is the thing about marriage? Well, I'm not an expert, but I have been married 28 years. So I kind of got an idea of what works and what doesn't. So, and of course, I wrote down some proverbs for you. And of course, a couple of songs like, Stand By Your Man, like Tammy Wynette. Um, so this is probably my one of my favorites anyway. Uh, Love is the quest. Marriage is the conquest. Divorce is the inquest. I really like that one. That was kind of cute. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, it's marriage is tricky. Marriage is everybody. I think people sometimes they're not, and I'm sure they love the person they've dated for a while, but sometimes I think they're more in love with the idea of being married than they are the actual person that they're supposed to be married to. It's marriage is after. I mean, you remember that first. That some of you aren't old enough to date, but the ones that you are, and you went on to marry that person. You remember that first date, and you're nervous, and it's like, oh God, I hope she likes me, and you see her, and she's just, oh, she's gorgeous. And the girls, you see him, and he's just so handsome. Just, oh, he's got all the right muscles in all the right places, and he's got that cute little smile, and she's got that great body, and you just both know it's just absolutely love at first sight, which it usually isn't at this point. It's usually lust at first sight. So, But we go about our merry way and we date for a while and we get to know each other, and it's just all just roses and dinners and going out to a bar and having fun and walks in the park and we're holding hands and we sit on the bench and oh, it's just so wonderful, and we look at each other. I love you. There it is. The magic words. And he looks at you. Yeah, baby, right back at you. Oh, so romantic. Let's get hitched, baby. Um, oh, this is so sudden. And then he pops out that big rock, and you're like, ah! And this just nothing else in this planet could a meteor could strike, and you wouldn't care because you're gonna get married. So, of course, everybody starts planning a wedding. And it can't be a small wedding. Everybody has to be invited to your marriage. You want everybody to see how much this man loves you and how much you love him. So you go and you spend $10,000 on a dress and, you know, and all these, because you want a traditional wedding. You can't have just a sloppy stand in front of the magistrate at the courthouse. No, this is marriage. This is once in a lifetime. So we have to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a dress, and we got to do the catering, and we got to get all the gifts and fly everybody in, and blah blah blah, and let's have this big fancy dinner. And you end up spending $10,000 or $15,000, and you could probably bought a new car or a down payment on a house. So there you go. You're already in debt. So, and in the first few years, it's just, oh, it's wonderful. But let me tell you, boys and girls, after the first baby comes, and then you both have a career, and then here comes the second baby, and the car breaks down, and the washer explodes, and somebody gets unemployed, and the baby's sick, and the other baby's sick, then this is where you know if you're married to the right person. Because after all the lust is spent, after all the hot dates and the short skirts and the big muscles, then comes the marriage. Okay? Then comes when the baby pukes all over you and, you know, you come home and you are absolutely dead tired and your partner says, honey, what's for dinner? And then you implode. Marriage is taking the trash out. Marriage is knowing that your wife is too tired to get it on tonight, baby. Marriage is 3 a.m. feedings. Marriage is, even though everything isn't as tight and perky as it once was 28 years, you're still in love with it. Marriage is a partnership, and don't let anybody tell you that marriage is 50-50, because it's not. Marriage some days is 70-30. Some days it is 50-50. Some days it's 20-80. Some days it's 80-20. It is give and take and listening and communicating and trust. I have a friend, I won't name my friend, but bless her heart, I have been through 4 husbands with her. I don't know if that's Latin or not. I think I've been through 4 husbands with her. I don't know. Some people, like I said, some people are in love with being in love. And some people are in love with the thought of being married and having somebody take care of them. And it's not all about the hot chick with the smoking body, you know? And it's not all about marrying the quarterback and, or the doctor or the lawyer. It's about finding that person who is the other half of you. It's Joyce Brothers said, marriage is not just spiritual communion and passionate embraces. Marriage is also 3 meals a day, sharing the workload, and remembering to carry out the trash. And it's just, and it doesn't matter. I'm not talking about sexes. I'm not talking about traditional man woman. It's whatever. It's the marriage between you and your partner, and that street runs both ways. You know, you have to have the trust. You have to be able to talk about anything. If you do not have trust and communications open, and I mean wide open, people, I'm not talking about, oh, I can tell him, no, I'm talking about honest to goodness. Remember, we talked about honesty. This is where the brutal honesty comes in. If you cannot be totally open and honest and trustworthy with your partner, it's, and don't think that you're not going to fight. You are. Every couple fights. Me and my husband have been married 28 years. Now, I'm lucky because we are, in a lot of things, we're just alike. But there are some things that we are just total polar opposites, and I think that's what balances us out so good. But he is probably my best friend. I can tell him anything. He puts up, because I tell you what, folks, I am one hateful, sarcastic, rude bitch to live with. And I know that about myself. I can admit it freely. Okay? It's, I mean, it's it's funny how we sometimes, and sometimes you take it for granted that if there's something different between you and your boyfriend or you and your fiance, ladies, don't make this mistake, okay? Oh, when we get married, I'll change him. He'll change for us. People are who they are. You have to love all of them. You do not get to pick the good parts and throw the rest of it away into the water, okay? Oh, he's athletic and he's wonderful and he snores like a freight train. Okay? He watches football religiously. But when we're married, we'll do things together. Yeah, probably after the football game. I'm just, that's just a generalization. All I'm saying is you have to really know somebody, their ins, their outs, their quirks. Um, I've heard people say, if I knew that, I wouldn't have married him. You've probably heard somebody say that. Um, so think of dating as kind of that's the exploratory. That's kind of the reaching out and kind of nudging. What is that? Let me kind of circle around and look at it. I don't know if I want to approach it. And we might give it a chance. Now, time you get into boyfriend girlfriend, you've taken like one step closer. You know, so okay, well let me kind of inch my way in there and let's find out what makes this tick. So then this is serious because we kind of tick the same. So let's get engaged. Okay, let's get engaged. So now we're committing. I can spend my life with this person. We have the same interests. He's wonderful. He's sweet. He's kind. He's good-hearted. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's sexy. She's self-assured. She's, you know, we're made for each other. Let's get engaged. Okay, let's get engaged. Another step. And then there it is, folks. The abyss, the cliff, the unknown. Marriage. And it's deep, and it's mysterious, and it's scary, and you don't want to dive off. No! But look at them. They're so perfect and wonderful. You can do this together. They'll support each other. Let's go. And then you jump in, and 2 years later, you're divorced. So, you know, it's. I wish I could tell you that I know the perfect formula for a good marriage. I don't know the perfect formula, but I do know. I mean, because I learned things about my husband every day. Because every once in a while, I look at him and I did not know that about you. Who are you? But yeah, it's. I mean, after after the hot sex and the the hot dates and God, she looks sexy in that dress, and oh man, he looks great in that, and going to the bars and all the fancy restaurants and you know all the great, not just days alone, holding hands and going window shopping, and all that stops after marriage. Okay, this is the real world, the real world, and there's going to be breakdowns, and there's going to be days that no, she don't want none, honey, and she ain't giving you none either. And there's going to be, you know, that certain time of the month when your girlfriend's probably going to rip you and burn you at the stake if you even look at her wrong. So you might want to keep that in mind, gentlemen, and take that in consideration. Just saying. So, it's just it's scary and it's wonderful, and I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter whatever religion you get married in, or actually, I think it was what probably started back in Roman times. I guess marriage did. Um, it was not religious; it was more of a contract, and I mean, you exchanged goods for your woman. I mean, literally like 10 goats and 2 camels and a bag of gold and some hides or whatever, you know. And you would go to the village priest because usually that was the only person that could read. And it just kind of evolved from there. I mean, when they say the marriage contract, well, yeah, I mean, literally it was a contract. You know, I pay you this, and you come, and you're my wife, and you produce children. And, that's the deal. Okay, here's 20 cows and 10 horses and 5 donkeys, and the deal's done. And let's take it to the priest, and we'll sign the marriage contract. Okay. Um, and there was no, well, let's date and see how it goes. I mean, it was whatever benefited the families. I mean, like royal marriages were always, that was political maneuvering. You know, what's best for the countries, and what do we gain, and what do you gain, and So yeah, we've come a long way, baby. So as here comes the moon, and I guess it's time to wrap this up. But yeah, marriage is. Socrates said the advice about marriage goes, my advice to you is to get married if you find a good wife, and you'll be happy. If not, you'll become a philosopher. So there you go. Um, it's just marriage is not. I mean, it's a lot deeper than what you think it is. And so if you're young enough to still be living at home, kind of watch the dynamics between your mom and dad if they're both there. And then if one of them isn't there due to divorce, then I mean, it probably wasn't anybody's fault. I mean, it's just they weren't. I mean, my husband is my soulmate. I am lucky. I'm one of the very few lucky people probably on the planet that has actually found their soulmate. He is the other half of my soul. And I know that. I know that unequivocally. I know it. I'm lucky in that regard. So, and I hope if you're not married, if you're young and you're starting to date or something, I hope you can find that. Just remember, after the dating, after the holding hands and the kisses and the huggies and the grabby of the body parts, There's um, there's going to be some soul searching in there too. So, take that into consideration before you want to marry the very first person you meet. It's not as sometimes it's not just one step forward. There's some intricate working. There's some intricate workings there. So I guess I'm going to wrap this up. And let me know in the comments below if you're old enough to be married, or how long you've been married, and uh, are you married to your soulmate? So that's it for now, everybody. Remember, M is for marriage. And as always, thank Latin and Zombie for allowing everybody to videotape, oh my God, to record on their server. Vox Populi, I love it here. It's awesome. Such a great place. Till next time, guys. This is MntDewMania, live from Vox Populi, marriage server of the universe. I'm so out of here. Later, guys.